Hello everybody, welcome back for some more Bloodstained. Last time we beat a boss. Zengetsu. Wait, hold on. I'm hearing, like my brain is like hearing things. Okay, so I think we need to, we need to warp back because I saved the game last time. Good thing I remembered. But this might sound like a foreboding thing. Since it's been a long time since I've actually played through all of Bloodstained and actually beaten all of Bloodstained, I'm not going to say like this is a blind playthrough, because it really kind of isn't. I mean, it's really not. But, yeah, it's been so long since I've actually played through a full playthrough, and, I might not remember where most things are at or where I can do things. But I will say this, Bloodstained, at least in comparison to, like, actual Castlevania games, I mean, I would say it's probably a lot easier to kind of go through it. I forgot which weapons I had on for a second there. And I got the demon one now. Cool. Oh yeah, just increases in, like, alright. But, yeah, so I was going to record Ratchet for this today, but then I didn't. I mean, I could still technically do it, but I got kind of distracted with some things. I don't remember exactly what it was. I remember what it was. I went to go play Guilty Gear Strive, because I haven't played it in a while, and I'm like, you know, I need to give Ram another shot again, because maybe I'm not playing her right. I tried out some training mode shit with her, and still not really feeling much of it. There was a nice combo thing I did, but then I'm an easy guy to, like, get distracted, right? So I got distracted, of course, as one does. And I saw on PlayStation Plus that, well, not PlayStation Plus, but on PlayStation we got some stuff. Or at least there was like a sale going on. I'm like, okay. So I dipped into the sale to see what it was about. And it was like, okay, it's just nothing. I don't give a fuck. There's nothing on sale I want. I don't really want to spend my money on... I don't want to spend my money on these games right now, to be fair. And, well, so I didn't. Yeah, surprise, surprise. I didn't actually spend my money on games this time. But that's not the major thing. So I saw that there was some new, or I always check PlayStation Plus to see if there's like anything new on there. And lo and behold, there freaking was. And it blew my fucking mind. It was Lego Star Wars 2, the PSP version, of course, and Daxter, which of course, obviously, that's PSP. And I was like, what the fuck? They have those? Like, oh shit. So like I downloaded both of them, you know, real quick. And this is the topic that I kind of want to get into, which I've talked about probably like length. I don't know which videos exactly. And I'm sure everybody's getting kind of annoyed. So if you don't want to hear this, then I guess close your ears for like the next 10 to 20 minutes. But yeah, so Daxter has trophies, okay? And Resistance Retribution has trophies as well. And I think even like Killzone Liberation, the PSP game, has it. Like almost all the PSP games that are available on PlayStation Plus right now have access to trophies. And Lego Star Wars 2 does not, even though it's a PSP game. And you're probably thinking like, well, yeah, it's a PSP game. They didn't have trophies back then. Well, yeah, but why does Daxter and Jack Lost Frontier and all them have trophies now? But weirdly enough, Lego Star Wars 2 doesn't have them. I mean, hell, even Sly 1, that's a PS2 game, the PS2 version of it, that got added to PlayStation Plus has trophies. So it's like they add trophies all the time, right? So it begs the question, why does Lego Star Wars 2 not have it? And I don't know. I never known why. I mean, hell, even like the complete saga never had trophies. But this right here is exactly what I want to talk about and what I want to bitch about. Okay? It's going to baffle some people that haven't heard it before, but I'm not actually bitching about the fact that Lego Star Wars 2 didn't have trophies. I'm actually more mad at myself, sort of. I'm not going in there just yet. I don't have a safe spot. So, I want to talk about achievements and why I think they were both a hindrance and a help to gaming. I guess I could say as a whole-ish, kind of. Kind of, sorta. I mean, it didn't completely ruin everything, but it's one of those things where I have this talk quite often. And I want to use myself as a great example of why I think it's kind of a bit of a hindrance to some extent. And the reason being is because I played Lego Star Wars 2, the first level, right? You know, A New Hope, Chapter 1 of it or whatever. All that fun stuff. You know, I played Lego Star Wars 2 back in the past. I love Lego Star Wars 2. You know, I also love Lego Star Wars 1. Funny enough, I'm not actually a big fan of the collection. I'm not a fan of either, actually. I don't mind the collection because, like, at least I can play all of them in one go. Do not care much for Lego Star Wars, the full saga, though. I think that's kind of a shit game. But other than that, like, Complete Saga is fine because it's basically a combination of both. But the reason why I don't like it as much as I like 2 and 1 by themselves is mainly the hub. I kind of don't like how they combine it into the Mos Eisley thing only, and that's about it. That's what I think kind of sucks. You know, I kind of wish we could have, like, episode 1 and 2 kind of separate from each other, but oh well. So anyway, that's kind of beyond the point. But the thing is, Lego Star Wars 2 did not have trophies, right? And I thought that was kind of weird. But it's not like a big deal. It's not like a deal breaker. It's not going to kill it for me. Like, I can still play the game just fine without it. The thing is, Daxter had trophies. Okay? Daxter had fucking trophies. And this is where things get kind of weird. Because that game had trophies, and my first thought was like, well, I'll come back and play Lego Star Wars 2, you know, eventually. I probably won't 100% it, but, you know, I'll just play it just for the hell of it at some point if I get bored. But for Daxter, it's like, I never finished Daxter on PS Vita yet, because I have it on PS Vita. I got, I think, like, 5-6 levels in. I don't remember how far in. I think it was like, I say 5 or 6 levels. I don't know. It feels like it was probably like halfway, because it's a really short game. It's like 5-ish hours long. It's a pretty damn short game. But I got a good amount of, you know, length in the game or whatever on Vita. And it's like, well, now it's on PlayStation Plus. You know, I could play it on my modern consoles and, well, obviously get, you know, I could have actually went here, got the HP up. God damn it. Well, now it's on modern consoles. I can get trophies for it too, and that's the problem. Like, I like getting trophies, yes. I think most people do. There's just one fucking problem, though, is I feel like because of that, it stopped me from wanting to play Lego Star Wars. Right? That is where I take issue with it, because, like, I decided that I was just not going to play Lego Star Wars solely based on the fact that it didn't have trophies, which is a fucking dumb thing to do, in my opinion. It is a good game. It is a good game. Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, does he always... I forgot if he always stays on or not. Yeah, like I said, I will argue it's a good goddamn game. It just sucks that, like, that's the thing that took it away from me, was that one simple fact, and that's what ruins it. And I've talked about this in length before, and I'm kind of bitching because, you know, that's just what I do. So, my main complaint is with, like, Nintendo stuff, right? Because I've always heard the same stupid fucking remark, and I hate this statement so much that it makes my fucking eyes roll in the back of my head every time I hear it. Nintendo doesn't have achievements, so, you know, that sucks. Why don't they have achievements? They should put achievements in their games. Why? What, for you? And again, what's funny is, like, technically they did have achievements at one point, because they did have, like, the whole Miiverse shit on Wii U. That also had achievements. Technically with stamps. Yeah, sure, the stamps idea is kind of there, to be fair. Like, I mean, it's kind of a thing. It's not like much of a big thing, but it's still kind of a thing that at least you can do. So I can't really complain too much. And you just kind of get them, and you just kind of just get them in, you know, places like Twilight Princess, for example. You fucking just straight up grab them in chests. And then, like, Bayonetta, it's like the Umbra, the birds. I forgot what they're called. How do these chests respawn? That's weird. So anyway, it's like, the whole argument of Nintendo needs to have achievements, I think is kind of stupid, because you're kind of missing a lot of the point of the game a bit, you know, because, alright, I'll just say this real quick. So, is it okay for somebody to say, I don't want to play Mario Odyssey because it doesn't have trophies, or it doesn't have achievements? Does that sound kind of dumb? Like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not a big fan of Mario Odyssey, but I assume that most people who are a big fan of it would say it's worth the content, right? It's worth the amount of money that you pay for it. You know, Mario Odyssey got, like, a lot of good positive reviews and stuff from, well, normal people, and yeah, that's the main thing, right? So, like, if a game like that doesn't have achievements, but the only achievements it has are, like, in-game stuff, in-game as in, like, actual straight-up, you know, regular run-of-the-mill collect, you know, 900 moons or whatever, that's not enough to some people. They need to have, like, this weird thing, you know, where they have to have a thing telling them, an arbitrary task telling them, oh, you did the thing, by the way, here's your reward. And it just seems kind of... Oh, I know where we're going. That's the part that bugs me, is, like, people... Well, I mean, not everyone's like this. It's kind of a bit of an exaggeration. Like, I'm sure there's people out there that probably would, you know, not want to buy Nintendo games for that fact alone, which I think is kind of dumb, because you're missing out on some pretty good, decent games. And that's what I'm afraid of, is, like, well, of course, being afraid of those few people that are like that is kind of pointless. But it's still the idea of it, you know, like, making that argument, like, oh yeah, Nintendo needs them. Like, no, they fucking don't. You could just play the game and enjoy the game the way it is. You don't need no fucking arbitrary achievement thingy telling you that you did the task you did. Again, you could just collect 900 moons and show your friends that you collected 900 moons and move on your merry way. You're good, right? You don't need to have something that tells me or tells you that you did it. Just know that you did and you're fine. Who cares? And the thing is, sometimes some games just have, like, the fucking worst achievements. Because sometimes the requirement for shit is just fucking horrid anyway. And, yes, this is a skill issue, and I understand that, but Crash 4? I fucking hate Crash 4's time trial stuff. I hate all that crap. It's just too much. I don't like Crash 4 enough. I think Crash 4 is a good platformer. You know, I think it's a good game. I think it's a good, solid game. I just don't care for it as Crash. I mean, I got the platinum for, you know, the trilogy itself, which is fine. Same thing with Spyro. But, like, I just don't feel like getting the platinum for... It's out of the way. Okay. Well, how do I seat? There. Yeah, like, I got the platinum for those games because I love those games. You know, Crash Team Racing, same thing. I love those games. You know, I'll go out of my way to go get those plats and what have you. Sure. But, you know... I can still enjoy playing a Nintendo game just from the fact alone of just enjoying it. Like, I'm still going to get Metroid Prime 4. Which, again, I know I'm kind of, you know, obviously not everyone's going to be like that. You know, not everyone's going to be that much of an exaggerated turd about games, right? But all I'm getting at is, like, they're such small dopamine rush things that, like, you don't really need them. And I feel like we've gotten to the point now where people kind of tend to fall in that trap of, like, relying on it a bit much. That's all. Because, like, I'm using myself as a case here. Because today I literally went to go play Lego Star Wars 2, and I was like, well, that one doesn't really have trophies, but Daxter does, so I can go play Daxter, I guess, and go get some trophies. I don't even fucking need trophies, man. I already got my goal. You know, I got like 100 plats or whatever, right? And it's like, that's all I wanted. That's all I needed. What am I going to do with them? Like, yeah, there's that whole PlayStation Stars thing or whatever, where you can, I guess, get like a small discount or some shit from getting platinums that you get now. But I don't really fucking care to do it anyway, because it doesn't seem like it's much of a discount anyway. Which, again, leads me into another thing that I want to talk about that I love Nintendo for, which, by the way, I'm not trying to say I'm a Nintendo fanboy, because I am far from that. I don't like their business practices. I don't like a lot of the stuff they do, but I will say I tend to like a lot of their games, and I like to support, you know, good games and stuff. And here's the benefit of buying Nintendo games, which, in my opinion, I'd suggest just buying first-party more so than third-party ones, but that's just me, you know. If you want to buy first-party, that's up to you, of course. But the thing is, what I like most about their stuff is when there's a new game that comes out, I can just buy that game right then and there. And I can get a small discount of like if I buy like a $60 game that's new, and I put in, you know, the game card like within that certain amount of time frame that you can put it in for and get that discount of, then like hell yeah, you know, I get a fucking discount. I get like a $6. I get a free $6 just from buying a new Nintendo game alone, and that I think is pretty damn cool. And the best part is, like, if you're like me and you just like having cheap games every once in a while to play, you know, you find a game that's like $6, you're golden. You can just play that. You basically just get 2 games in one. Yeah, again, sorry about downloading shit all the time on my PlayStation, but they keep releasing shit, so it's like, I might as well. I'm gonna die if I'm not careful. I don't have a potion or nothing, I don't think. Did she get killed? I think she did. I hope she did. I have no idea. I want to say that a waypoint thingy might take me back. Ah! And I got the frog one. Okay, cool. Not like I need it, but alright. Release a toad. Yeah, okay, cool. I think bat's the same thing. Well, maybe bat might actually make you into bat. I don't remember. But yeah, like, again, like, I don't mind achievements. I'm just saying, like, when it takes over, like, your interest in gaming, I think that's a fucking problem. Is what I'm trying to say. And you really shouldn't just make the argument of, yeah, well, you know, Nintendo doesn't have achievements and they really need to have it. No, they don't really need to have shit. You're the one that wants it. They don't need it. They're doing just fine without it. You know? I mean, not even just like on a casual level, but like I'm pretty sure like a lot of just normal, well, not like normal, but you know what I mean, like just the normal market of, I said normal again. I don't know, just everybody and anybody will buy a fucking Switch. Right? You know, that's a pretty nifty console, pretty good console. Yeah, it doesn't run graphically all that well in comparison to a lot of things, but I don't really give a fuck. As long as the games just run fine and I get cool first-party games, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with whatever Nintendo usually shits out. I'm not a big fan of Breath of the Wild or any of them, though, to be fair, but I'm trying to remember, like, what that combo was that they wanted me to do. I don't know. I did a technique earlier. I could look it up. Also, we're doing pretty okay. And look at that. Yeah. I wonder who that might be. And the first thing I do is I get him... Is he familiar, or... No, he's just a summon. Okay. Well, you know what? Hold on. I'm curious. Which one is it? Is it Conjure? I don't know how helpful that's going to be, though. Honestly, not as helpful as I was hoping it would be. Kind of like Head Flail a lot better, which is weird. I usually stick with water for like the longest time. By the way, I guess we're coming down here anyway. I was gonna say, like, there's no reason for me to be down here. I don't really have any point of this. I'm not getting much out of this place right now, I don't think. I'm pretty sure this is one of those areas that you kind of have to like come into later, and then you might get something from it. Like, we don't, because, you know, Bloodstained is pretty close to Symphony of the Night in a lot of ways. We're gonna need like the water ability to kind of go underwater to get most of kind of what I need out of this place. Well, I don't know. I mean, we can probably get like some stuff, but you know what I mean. We're not gonna get everything we're gonna ever want here, so. And speaking of which, I need fucking health now. Like, right now. Yeah, again, me bitching about, you know, achievement stuff again. It's just, it's the norm for me. I just always complain about something, but I don't know. It bugs me so much because, like, I care about my games a lot. Like, I care about retro games, sometimes even a little too much, you know, where it's like, I'll just not even buy, like, new... fuck AAA games. I hate that shit. Ooh. That's another thing I've talked about to death, is modern gaming and how much I just don't really care about it. Now, the indie scene is fine. The indie scene is relatively pretty good, you know, because I'm pretty sure Blasphemous is indie. Last Faith seems still pretty cool. And don't get me wrong, like, I know they're not exactly indie, But, you know, hell, even From Software, you know, is still doing a pretty fantastic job making good games. I just kind of wish we had more people that could take after them. And just not make their games like 200 fucking gigs. You know, but beggars can't be choosers, I guess, so... Fuck me. I was scared of hitting up and square at the same time because I was afraid, like, oh, I'll use my item if I do that. And I was like, this is not Castlevania. This is Bloodstained. These are two different things. I mean, they're very similar, of course, obviously, but they are retroactively two different things. I forgot that I de-equipped Shovel Knight. Can you hit downward, please? Thank you. It's also kind of cool how familiars can level up. I never really used familiars, but this guy's pretty good so far. Not gonna lie. Having like that extra bit of damage around just for the hell of it, which will probably end up staying on for like who knows how long. I usually don't like using familiars, so I don't like having them just, you know, popping around. But this is one of those times where it's like, okay, you know, I'm fine with that. Yeah, anyway, it's kind of funny how, like, all that shit just kind of broke out into, like, some big, giant, like, argument of myself from just playing Guilty Gear Strive again, and that's another fun topic. I've bitched about modern games enough, but, one thing I guess I haven't really bitched about too much, or really said my piece on too much, is fighting games, and the state of fighting games now, which everyone and their mother is aware of what's going on with games nowadays. Fighting games in particular. So, the new Marvel, you know, collection's coming out. I'm so excited for it. But there was a thing they added where you can have a more casual way to play. And that casual way is, you know, hitting one button to do specials, right? And the first thought that I normally have when I hear that with fighting games is like, oh, fuck me. You know, they're making it casual friendly. And it's going to ruin it for people that are veterans. But the thing is, like... This is one of those cases where I don't really mind it as much because it's not going to affect me in the slightest, I'm sure. And that's what I want to talk about with fighting games and where they're at is the whole casual part of things. Sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's just kind of annoying. But I feel like for like a game like Marvel, like it doesn't really matter, it's fine. I don't think it's going to ruin Marvel because, like... God damn it. I don't think it's going to ruin Marvel... really at all. I don't think it's going to affect me whatsoever, you know? I really don't. But for some games, I felt like it kind of did a little bit. And mainly it was Grand Blue Versus when it first came out, which Rising I like. I don't mind Rising. Hell, freaking DNF Duel has a one-button press situation where you just hit a direction, hit a button, and you get that special, right? Like, DNF Duel has it, and I still like DNF Duel. So, what is it really that I think ruins, like, modern fighting games? Is it straight up just actual, like, casual controls, or what is it? Well, for a while, it kind of was, mainly with Grand Blue. I remember, like, when Grand Blue came out, you know, I was like, fuck this game, because it's got these dumbass, like, you know, if you don't even have to input the same input that I do to get the same fucking amount of damage for a raw super, right? Which, granted, you know, if you're throwing at raw supers, typically, you know, you're supposed to watch out for those, right? That's kind of a common thing. That's something you're not supposed to really get hit by as a quote-unquote better player. But it's just one of those things that, like, still kind of bugged me because of the principle of it, which was some, like, a more casual player cannot input, or doesn't have to input, the actual full motion, and I fucking died. That's fine, we didn't get that far back. A more casual gamer, so for those that don't know, for Grand Blue, to do a super, like a normal, like regular super, it's down, forward, circle, in PlayStation. Or down, forward, X for the other super, right? The 100% super, correct? But for somebody who's like a more casual player, they could just input down, forward, R1, just once, and you're done. The input went in, you did your super, you win. Now, if it's in a combo, if you're doing a combo into that super, then your damage on that super will be less. I'm not sitting through this shit. I'm sick and tired of this fucking game doing this to me. God God, this fucking shirt, man, it itches. You hear me rip it too. It's just, it's tight and it's itchy. I hate it. So anyway, yeah, well, that's going on. I guess I could just fucking see what the hell my brother wants. Oh, okay. Nice. Anyway. For them, you know, they'll input the super, and it will do, if they do a raw super, it will essentially do the same amount of damage as you would do if you also raw supered. Which again, if you're raw supering, I mean, you could say like, well, that's kind of an issue on your end, because, you know, you kind of have to do a combo to get that. I get it, I know. But there's every once in a while, like every once in a blue moon, where something will happen like that. You know, where sometimes doing a raw super actually works pretty well. And you do it anyway, like a silly goose. And, yeah. We're all fine and dandy here. But, like, just understand that, like, it does the same damage. Like, it shouldn't do that. And that's what pissed me off. Is, you know, I'm a pretty bad player, so of course I get caught off guard randomly by a, you know, random super. Well, I say random super, but a raw super, more so specifically. And it's like, oh, fuck, man, that sucks. And now it's going to do, like, decent damage, and there goes my entire health bar, and yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Now, why do I like Rising more? I don't know. I feel like Rising just has better characters. It just has a bit more better mechanics. It still has the quote-unquote casual side of things, but I've kind of gotten over it now. The main killer for me is actually Strive. And this is less so of like, oh, well, new mechanics are bad. Yes, but like, it's more so, okay, it's not even that, it's just they took away so much shit. And like, you guys probably know by now, like, I'm a fan of Guilty Gear Rev 2, right? And I also like, you know, my plus R's and stuff, yeah? And I don't really play Guilty Gear 1 very often, but I do have it. But still, nonetheless, I've gotten quite used to playing Guilty Gear Rev 2 and all them over the years. And then when Strive finally came out, I was like, oh wow, this looks really fucking cool. But then I saw the trailer for Ram, and it's like, wait a minute, something's off. They changed her completely, like, something's weird. Like, Sol and Kai looked normal, but then, like, the Ram trailer was like an instant, like, okay, yeah, something's bugged. I don't mind her getting, like, a decent overall change. Like, I kind of like the idea of her being more of a shooter class thing. That's cool. But holy fuck did they take away everything that she had. Yeah, she's still got, like, her corner pressure a bit. She's still got decent pressure. You know, all that fun stuff. But she's missing... And for me, she was missing her combination attacks. So, like, the, you know... kick, punch, 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 kick, punch, that stuff, right? And then not only that, come to find out when the game finally comes out, they don't even have fucking Gatling combos either, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, I can't input, you know, I can't go from punch to slash to heavy slash or anything like that. I can't do that. Like, I'm stuck only doing slash to heavy slash. That's like the only two that actually go into each other, and then it's specials. Right after, right? It's like, what kind of dumb shit is this? I don't like this. And then after a while, I kind of just said, alright, fuck it, whatever. Like, this is the game, this is the way it is. Online is kind of dog shit at the same time, and I just gave up on it for a while. Season 1 came out, and I was like, nope. Yeah, I don't really care still. And then Season 2 came out, and I think the same season with Bridget, I want to say. Well, even, like, Testament was kind of cool, and I'm like, they brought Testament back, I'm like, ooh, okay, you know. Down for that. And also, not gonna lie, Testament's hot, so that kind of helps out a lot for me wanting to play, you know, get back in. Which is funny because, like, sorry, I'm talking so much, my throat's getting dry and hurting. But when Strive was coming out, I'm like, god damn. Like, well, it's funny because, like, in Guilty Gear, you know, in Guilty Gear Rev, or I say Rev, but in, you know, Xrd in general, like, everybody's fucking hot. Like, what's up with that, right? But holy shit, did they make everybody even hotter in, like, fucking Strive. It's like, god damn. I remember seeing, like, the trailer for, like, Milia and Zato, and I was like, oh my fucking lord, like, they're both pretty fucking hot. Like, Jesus Christ. You know? Sai is or Sai? What? No, Kai is good looking. He's really good looking. Sin's pretty good looking now. I mean, yeah, I kind of like his redesign a bit. But you know what I'm saying. I'm getting kind of a little gay for our homeboys, and you know, nothing wrong with that. You know, they are, after all, our little buddies from back then, right? You know, our little Guilty Gear friends, and we all love them. Just sometimes, you know, you could take a. Sometimes I, you know, might want to take a bit of a Kai dick or something that day. You know, who knows, right? Get plunged by Soul and get Dragon installed on or something. I don't know. But yeah, like the redesigns were cool. But then, you know, noticing, like, since I play Ram and Xrd, you know, for a lot of reasons. I mean, yeah. Call me a waifu player all you want, but, you know, it's too late. I've been playing her for a long time, that I'm pretty much like a veteran waifu player at this point, I guess. But, yeah, like, her complete change was just too much. And I thought about it today, too, and I was like, yeah, like, if anything, like, I don't really mind her losing out on her deploy greatsword move. I mean, she still kind of has it. Yes, kind of, which is now just like the, you know, explodes on the wall. Hold on. Is that a change of shard toward this one? Oh, that's cool. Half Genie Fireball. I'll show it off, I guess. There you go. For you guys that want to see a Half Genie Fireball. Oh yeah, isn't like yeah, the Game Boy Color game getting re-released? That's not, no. Speaking of Ripper, I gotta go play some Dead Space 1 because I have it on Steam now. But yeah, so like everyone got redesigned and all that shit, and it's kind of worse. But that's not the main thing I want to bitch about. The main thing I kind of wanted to bitch about was like, okay, especially now with Season 3 and that fucking, I hate the new change they did to it. Just recent change, actually. I think it was around the time when Johnny came out, maybe, give or take. I don't remember the exact point in time when it happened, but there was a point in time where they changed Gold Psych Burst. I mean, Blue Burst now attacks full screen, no matter what. That's not a big deal. That's not a big, you know, killer for me, right? I don't really give a shit. The thing that they changed that pissed me off now, because I have to have something to be mad about every time. They fucking, oh yeah, this is why I never use magic, because you need to get money. I forgot about that. Actually, the thing that they changed mostly now that I don't like is they changed Gold Psych Burst to basically give you only positive tension shit, or whatever it was called, which is a sort of like new mechanic where you can pretty much like whenever you break a wall and you get back into neutral, like if you break somebody on a wall and you get back to neutral, you can then get positive tension, which allows you to basically just get like a sort of slightly, you know, increasing tension gauge over time. That, you know, yeah, the more you just gain it over time, kind of like automatically for a little while. And they made it to where, like, instead of Gold Psych Burst just giving you a flat-out 100% tension bar, which is your super meter, now you just get fucking positive tension, and that's it. Now you have to actually fucking work to get that hard. Which, you know, don't get me wrong, like, I don't mind working for it, but, like, I kind of wish that it would just still be that, because, like, wasting your whole ass burst, you know, wasting your whole ass fucking burst to get a full 100% tension bar was kind of like the more interesting and you know, part of the strategy of it too. Was like, do I really care enough to get full 100 tension right now, especially in a game that doesn't last more than like fucking 2 seconds? Because God forbid, for some reason they made Strive's health so fucking tiny. And the thing is, too, like, people... I remember, like, when it came out, like, people were like, it doesn't fucking matter if it's super small, because, like, it still works. You know, it's still pretty good health. Like, I mean, look at all the other Guilty Gear games. Like, they had small health, too. Yeah, but nowhere near as small as this. Like, I promise you, like... It just... Yeah, it's fucking tiny. It really does feel like it, which, you know, again, also goes into another thing, too, where they got rid of insta-kills, which, you know, to be fair, I mean, I like insta-kills, right? I like them as much as anybody else would, but it's not like a deal-breaker for me. You know, I don't really need to have insta-kills for a game to be good. It's just, it would have been nice. But to be fair, like, the graphics and the animations of the supers already kind of fit that job of being, you know, a flashy... show-offy, super, you know, or whatever. So it's like, it kind of just feels like we, even though we don't have insta-kills themselves, we still get that flashy part of it, I guess, of the game. But, even if they did have insta-kills, like, it'd be kind of pointless, because, like, enemy, or your opponent just dies in, like, 2 seconds. You know, you could, I mean, I'm not even using Chip as an example, I'm just saying, like, in general, like, a lot of characters just tend to die kind of quick, you know? And I don't like that part of it. I wish it wasn't that way. They got a little faster than they should. And I remember, I think it was Grand Blue had the same problem, didn't it? Like, it didn't have enough... Like, they had to... I think for Evo or whatever at the time, I think they had to up the rounds to make up for it. And if I remember correctly, I think Leffen was bitching... I think he was one of the few that was... Or probably one of the many. I don't like Leffen anyway, for those that are wondering, but I think he might have been one of the people that was probably bitching about it getting upped for Evo or Combo Breaker or whatever it was. I don't remember exactly. But I do remember that being a thing. And, by the way, just fuck Leffen. Just fuck him. I don't care if bro has, like, you know, a villain persona thing. Well, he kind of really doesn't. He's actually kind of a bit of a villain there, but... I'm a big, I don't like, you know, mixing my peas with my mashed potatoes too much type guy. And I feel like Leffen is the embodiment. Him and Sonic Fox are kind of the embodiment of that. Where... I don't think Sonic Fox is a bad person in real life, by any means. I just want to say that right now. I don't think he probably is. But he's got, like, a really annoying persona online with his fighting game shenanigans. But the main thing I want to talk about is, and this is going to sound kind of mean, but I don't really care much for people that are in the fighting game, like, in the fighting game community to play, like, every fucking fighting game imaginable that comes out. Like, they have to be good at every fucking fighting game. Like... I'm not saying that somebody like Leffen or whatever, or even HBox or whatever, shouldn't just not... Like, they shouldn't play Tekken because, like, they're Smash players. Like, it's not really that. It's just that they... It always feels like they have to be the one and only, like, really good player. Like, Sonic Fox is the main thing. You know, he was really good at MK, right? And then he jumps into fucking Dragon Ball. And, I don't know, it's like... Can't you just let somebody else just kind of have it? Like, just let Goichi have it? You know? Because I don't want to hear you say, you know, how... Say that you're gay every fucking time you win. I don't... I know it's a bit, I get it, but, like, it's kind of irritating. You know? I don't know. It's one of them things, which, of course, you know, somebody's gonna say, like, well, you know, that's... You're a fucking loser. You don't like him saying that he's gay. Because, you know, blah, 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 or whatever. And I guarantee, you know, whatever you're thinking, you're probably wrong. So, just saying. That would be useful much later. That'd be useful right now, actually. I go down to 1 defense, but yeah, we're keeping that on. Out of most items you'll ever get in games like this, that's typically a really good one to have. And I kind of realized I fucked up. I gotta go back up to the top. God, shit. Yeah, like I said, I've heard Sonic Fox is pretty cool in real life, and it's like, okay, that's fine, but I don't know. All I'm saying is, like, I just kind of wish that he stick to like a couple of games, but doesn't have to play every fucking game. Because then I see him and his fucking hat, and it's like, ugh. I see him playing like Guilty Gear or whatever, and it's like, god damn it. I see Leffen playing Guilty Gear, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. I guess I'm a bit gatekeepy, but it kind of comes with the territory. You know, I was pretty gatekeepy about a lot of things back then. Still kind of am to an extent. Not as hard, I guess, but I don't know. Still, just a little bit, I guess. Yeah. Wow. What do you know? 40 minutes, and I just bitched about like just the entire episode. Holy shit. But anyway, I'll just end off the episode here. Hope you guys might have possibly enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time for more of this. So yeah, take care, everybody.